Hi, and welcome to my channel, Busy Bee Natural Remedies. I'm Karissa, and today I wanted to talk about the power of prayer. This topic has come up because I have a friend who just a few weeks ago went to the doctor and was diagnosed with a very rare cancer in the female region. And my friend, amazing person, very upbeat. She was willing to listen to me when I talked about some potential holistic solutions, which I was really grateful for because, the way I live my life, the way I raise my family, the way I try and encourage others is always, look for alternatives. Let's not always just think the medical establishment route is the best option. So, she was diagnosed and she's only a year older than me. So it was really unexpected, really kind of sudden. And it was, it was disheartening, but it was really great to see that, she was very upbeat and she was very open to hearing from lots of different people and what they've heard and what they've experienced themselves or what have you, to give her options on what she should research and look at. And not saying that she still wasn't following the medical establishment's guidelines and things of that nature, but being really young and being diagnosed with, a very rare big C, in the female region, that just was unheard of. And it was so much so, that she had to call family members to get genetic background to make sure, like, does anyone else have symptoms, because this is so rare. And she didn't have any of the markers for this type of cancer. So it was really baffling the doctors. And, the best thing that I could really offer really was a prayer. I said I would keep her in my prayers, and I prayed for her every night with our family. I did send her a few links on, success stories using alternative options, and I also, of course, knowing, certain things that I use, I thought it couldn't hurt, right? So I gave her some of those options. But really, I think what really helped her through this was the power of prayer. I did introduce her to the LifeWave X39 patch, because if you go and you look up that product and you look up LifeWave and you look up testimonials, you'll see that some people have seen some benefits in boosting the natural immune system and helping their body overcome things that people think that they'll never be able to overcome. I did offer that to her. I don't know if she decided, I think she decided to purchase, and she did, but I'm not going to say that purchasing those helped what happened next. So like I said, a few weeks ago, we just found this out, and she had to go in for an MRI this week. And I kept thinking about her, and I kept, I want to text her, and I want to see how'd the MRI go and all that. And I just kept thinking like I should, and I kept, being a busy mom, never found the time to text. And today she texted me, and she said that she got her MRI results back, and she's completely clear. She has no sign of that type of, big C anywhere. And that is not something that we were expecting, because all the other tests that she had taken, it was indicating that it wasn't a matter of if she had it, it was a matter that she did have it. The question is how far did it spread? That's what the MRI was going to show. But the MRI showed nothing. She's completely clean. And, I understand some people can say, well, that could be a mistake from the medical side. Yes, it could be a medical mistake, potentially. But then thank God that she had the MRI just to confirm it. Because could you imagine if she hadn't? And then they would have started treatment, whatever treatment that was going to be. And, Lord knows what, potential side effects and things like that she could have experienced. But my point here is I was praying for her. I know that many family members were praying for her. Many friends were praying for her. I know she was praying. And, we really left it to God and said, only you truly know what this person needs to heal their body. Because in the end, that is the only person who really knows. We can throw whatever we want at a just ease within the body. But at the end of the day, if you don't give it to God, essentially you're leaving it up to man, right? And, in my channel, I try to teach people to live holistically, which, while yes, it's being taught through what we use as humans, the things I use come from God. And we try to eliminate anything that's not from God from the things that we use the best that we can. I understand that we can't be perfect and it can't be 100%. But the point is my focus is, if God didn't make it, we probably shouldn't use it. So it's the same thing when it comes to, healing. Why wouldn't I have the same mindset when it comes to healing? If I don't have God by my side, then I'm leaving it up to man to help fix me, or whatever the scenario is. But my friend's case in point, it was only a few weeks from, it was probably about 3 to 4 weeks from when she was told you have this. They did other tests to confirm it, and they were baffled by the fact that she had it because she had no markers that would indicate that she should get it or potentially get it, and it's such a rare form. And then today, not only does the MRI show that she has no sign of any cancer, the cancer they thought in her body or anywhere, but the genetic testing they did, the blood testing they did, showed that she doesn't have that genetic gene that would cause it. And now they're talking it up to environmental. Now I can kind of think of an environmental potential factor that could have maybe led down this path, but I wholeheartedly believe that it was God and God alone who really, one, whether it be that he directed the doctors to say, hey, let's get an MRI, let's just confirm this, let's see how far it spread, which then in that case, maybe all their tests were wrong and she never had it, which, thank God again that she got the MRI. Or maybe, just maybe, the power of prayer and the advice that she was taking on how taking care of her body. And again, if you truly believe that something's going to work, you're essentially telling your soul, allow this to work within my body. So, I was giving her things like, taking moringa really helps to this. There's soursop tea. There's all these different natural remedies that you could look into, and just from a nutritional perspective that you could look into. And then, yes, I did introduce the Extra 9 LifeWave patch. I know that she bought some, so could she have been wearing it the last couple of days? So that in combination with all the suggestions that people were giving her, and I know that in her family there's more than just me who think holistically, so I have no idea what other holistic options she was potentially trying. Maybe she threw all the holistic sink at her body. All at the same time, everybody was praying and saying, please, dear God, give her what she needs to fight this, to beat this. And then today she got the best news that she could have ever gotten. Now, if you're not telling me that God wasn't involved in some way, some fashion, there's no way. You could never convince me of that. I see God work in my life, in my family's life, in my friends' lives every day. So that's why I wanted to talk about the power of prayer today. Because no matter what you are going through, there is one person that you can talk to no matter what, and he is listening and he is working, and that is God. Again, all God, Creator, what have you, in this house we call him God. But there is a more powerful source than us. He created the heavens and the earth, he created the sun, he created everything on this planet. Which means, unfortunately, also, he created the materials to make the toxins, unfortunately, that are also on this earth. Which means he also knows what needs to happen within the body to remove those toxins. Because at the end of the day, any dis-ease within the body is either a lack of a nutrient that you need or is an overabundance of a toxin that your body does not need or want. That's what it is. There's no in between. It's one or the other. You just have to figure out what it is. Is it a lack of a mineral, a lack of a nutrient? Is it an overabundance of a toxin? Is it an overabundance of a bacteria or a fungus or a parasite? Because as much as I hate to say it, parasites, fungus, they're in everything. The water we drink, the air we breathe, the food we eat. So sometimes your dis-ease within your body is just an overabundance of that and your body can't detox from it. So then in this instance of my friend, this was a pretty big thing. And just by when I talked to her, the feeling I got is that she was giving it to God. She was listening to friends, she was listening to families, and she certainly was taking things upon herself to try and take care of her body the best that she could, with the suggestions people were giving her and her own research. I promise you, God was there guiding her every way, saying, drink this, eat that, do this, do that, whatever it was. And then at the same time, God was guiding those doctors to say, okay, well, maybe you should have an MRI taken, just to be sure. And then boom, today, no sign of any, big C within her body, which is amazing because she still wants to have kids. So this was such an overjoy abundance of news. Who wouldn't want that kind of news? Power of prayer. If things are too big, something's too big for you, give it to God. I mean, I can tell you right now what I'm doing here. At times, I feel it's too big for me. I tell God, I pray every time that any video I make, that it reaches as many people as it needs to reach. God, please help my videos reach as many people they need to reach for encouragement, to help them change their life, for the better as far as health goes, whatever it'll fit into someone's life for. Just please help me help others out there the best that I can. And there are times where doing this, searching, trying to get out there and help other people, it's a lot. And it may not seem like it, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of my time, which I don't mind giving because I want to help people. I truly do. I want to help people figure out how to live a life without having to be dependent on big corporations and other life. And sometimes I just give it to him. There are days where I'm like, today it's too big for me. I don't even know what to talk about. I don't even know what to call the video, even if I do know what to talk about. I just say, God, help me out here. I'm giving it to you. And even if it's not just this, sometimes it's just everything. Sometimes I wake up a day and I'm just like, I don't have it, God. I need your help on everything. You know exactly what I'm struggling with. You know exactly what I need. Please, Lord, just take it. I trust you. That right now with a big thing in my life that could really make things for my family easier down the road or not. But I know God knows what's best for us. So I'm praying to him, and what it is that I'm struggling with, I'm giving it to him. And I'm saying, you've got this. It's too much for me. It's too big for me to figure out. It's too big for me to juggle right now. So I'm giving it to you. I know that you know what I need. I know that you'll put the people or the things in my path that I need to get where I want to go. And I've seen him do it before. Perfect example. When I started out young in my career, I wanted to be able to work from home. I wanted to be an independent consultant. That's what I wanted to do. At a very young age, I started to try and do that. Wasn't really working out, but amazingly, within just a few years of trying to do that, God started putting stones in my path that literally eventually led me to being my own consultant, working from home. Didn't happen overnight. Didn't even see it happening when it happened until I looked back. I was like, oh my gosh, if this didn't happen or if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't have been here and then I wouldn't be where I am right now. Because I gave it to God and I prayed. I prayed that he would find a way. And he did. So, power of prayer, stronger, more influential in your life than you can ever imagine. If you like this content and want to hear more, tap that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow me for more at benaturalremedies.com.